everything changed. Multiple.
Well, out there, great lands and lands, welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out a couple weeks ago, and is a awesome sci-fi film that I've been looking forward to talk about, so let's get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, dabble check out my other social media platforms, which is X, Patreon, X, again, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much any other place that's pretty much a social media platform. I'm pretty much on them. As always, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, I've been doing a new movie review of a new film that just came out a couple weeks ago. And it's a sci-fi film that it just was such an amazing film that at the same time just something I wanted to see since I saw the first preview for it, and just looked absolutely fantastic. And that happens to be the film called Mickey 17. Yeah, Mickey 17. Yeah. So Mickey 17 is a new film that is a sci-fi kind of dark comedy type of deal that basically gives you the essence of what if you became a thing known as an expendable, basically, where basically they can reclone you every time you die kind of deal. And this film is just one of those films that, you know, you kind of, at first you're kind of like, I'm not 100% sure, because it's a different, whole bunch of different genres mixed into one, but at the same time you're like, this could be good, it's got a great cast, stuff like that, and, you know, coming out of it, I was really impressed with the film, because I thought that overall, it just was a really well done film, and the whole concept was a really great concept, and at the same time, everyone did such a great job of the film, and just made it really entertaining, and just a really overall great, really made for me sci-fi element type of film. Now, this film has to be directed none other by a gentleman that goes by the name of Bong Joon-ho. Yeah, Bong Joon-ho. Yeah. So Bong Joon-ho, who you might recognize as the director of the Academy Award-winning film Parasite, directed this film, and I really enjoyed what he did with it. I think that he did a really good job with the film. I think it's a lot different than the other film that I've seen him do, but at the same time, I think he has a really good, kind of concept of sci-fi type of films, because another film that he really did really well was another type of sci-fi kind of creature feature type of deal. But overall, I think that he had a really good idea of what he wanted to bring from Mickey 17, and I liked exactly what he delivered, because he gave us all kinds of great elements. He gave us, drama, he gave us comedy, he gave us sci-fi, and overall, I think he got really great performances from all of his actors throughout it. And I just really enjoyed the whole concept, too. I thought he had a really great visual of the film, of all the different, looks and everything, the landscape and all that kind of stuff that he had for the planet that he decided to make for the film. I enjoyed, all the different, spaceship and inner parts of different buildings and stuff like that. He did a really good job. I thought he had a really great eye for the cinematography. I thought he did a really good job of getting some really decent music for the film, too. That was really a great addition to the film as well. But overall, I think that he just did a really amazing job with the film, and just gave us this really great film that, from beginning to end, really entertained us. And, oh man, the ideas and the creatures that they decided to go with and designs was, totally on point, I felt, for Bong, and, what his, vision would be, especially from seeing his previous films. And he definitely had a really great concept that really developed and really played out very well. So I think Bong did a really good job with that. Now, if you haven't seen anything else Bong has directed, definitely a great film to check out of his is a great film that came out back in, I think, around 2005, 2006, and is a great creature feature film called The Host. Yeah, The Host. Yeah, this is an absolutely fantastic film. I think it's one of his first films, and he just blew it out of the water and gave us this really amazing creature feature that had all the elements just like Mickey 17 had, with great special effects for its time, and just a really awesome creature that you just kind of like, holy crap, it's almost like the Loch Ness Monster mixed with like a octopus and all this kind of stuff, and it just was played out so well, and it really showed the great vision Bong has, and like how he has a really great eye for creature features, a sci-fi or even monster type of horror films. And I really enjoyed what he did with that film, and it really kind of catered and showed that he has such great directing ability and really great vision that works out really well. And he did that with The Host, and it just was a really well created film. If you haven't seen anything Bong has directed, definitely check out The Host. He did a really phenomenal job with it. But overall, like I said, I absolutely love what he did with Mickey 17. I think it's a really great addition to his filmography. And overall, it just is a really amazingly fun film. If you haven't seen Bong direct anything recently, go check out Mickey 17 in the theaters now. He did a phenomenal job. So this movie has a really great cast. I mean, lots of fun people that all delivered and gave really great performances that really added to the film and were selected, I thought, very well, because all of them really played their part to the T and really brought it to a very entertaining level that I felt was on par for their acting abilities. And majority of them, I think, really kind of shined in this film, showing that they have more than some of the kind of the acting chops that they've shown in previous films. And, they just all really worked out really well for the film. So to start us off is none other than Mickey 17 himself, Mr. Robert Pattinson! Oh yeah, Robert Pattinson! Woo, Robert Pattinson! Yeah! So Robert Pattinson, you might recognize, of course, from the Batman. You might recognize him from the Twilight series and so forth. And, he is just a really fun actor that I feel has grown over the years, and really I have enjoyed him more and more in different things. And sometimes I have thought that, he is kind of a little overrated in certain situations, but overall I think that he's pretty fun, and that he does excel at certain films more than he does others. And that's what he did with Mickey 17. I really enjoyed his character. I thought he did a great job portraying the two different characters, and I enjoyed, like, the voiceover, and I enjoyed, like, his voice in it. I thought it was super hilarious sounding, and I enjoyed that he kind of brought kind of a funny, kind of quirky element to his character that was just really made the character even more entertaining and fun, and just really made him, you wanted to watch him, you wanted to see where he was going and kind of what, his life developed and stuff like that. And I thought Robert did a really good job of bringing that to life and just making that very entertaining. Now, with this film, I thought, Robert Pattinson also really brought a great kind of element I really hadn't seen from him in other films that really showed kind of like his multi-talent, versus having, playing two different characters in the same film. I think really showed that he has some decent acting chops, and that he's not just, pretty just like straightforward, kind of character actor kind of deal that, sometimes is in the lead role type of deal. And I think that, overall, how his performances went in this film really shined and really did and developed very well throughout the film and made it very fun and entertaining. Now, if you haven't seen something else that Robert Pattinson has directed, definitely a film to check out is a great film that came out in 2005 called Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Yeah! Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Yeah! Oh my goodness. I absolutely love him as Dedrick Sigurd, as his character in that film. I absolutely love his character. I think he's fantastic. I think he does a great job. I think it's one of the first films I saw him in and thought that he did a really great job. And, Cedric, unfortunately, has the untimely demise in the film, but I thought what Robert Pattinson brought to the character just worked really well overall. It was just really fun. And I thought that he overall did a great job of bringing that character to life and giving us this really great performance that I thought was kind of the MVP of the film, really, versus even some of the main characters that really developed a great character and, really shined throughout the film. And I think that overall he just brought a funness to the character and gave us this kind of like fun different character in the Harry Potter world that just, really worked well. If you haven't seen, Mr. Robert Pattinson and anything, definitely check him out in Harry Potter, The Goblet of Fire. He did a really great job. But overall, I really enjoyed him in Mickey 17. I thought he was a great lead, and overall, I just really enjoyed his characters, and I think he was just a really great addition to this film. If you haven't seen Robert Pattinson anything recently, go check him out in Mickey 17 now. He was phenomenal. So that brings me to the next actor I like to talk about that was in this film, and that is none other than Hulk himself, Mr. Mark Ruffalo! Oh yeah, Mark Ruffalo! Woo! Mark Ruffalo! Yeah! Absolutely love Mark Ruffalo. I think he's a fantastic actor, from his portrayal of the Hulk, of course, in the Marvel universe, to his performances in The Cut, to many other films that he's done. He is just always a pleasure to watch, and always brings great interest to his characters that are just fun and on point, and always just really enjoyable. And Mark Ruffalo really has come through many, many years of acting and so forth and stuff, and has really developed into a great actor. And his story kind of is interesting too, because he thought that he wasn't going to be able to act after he had, unfortunately, a cancer scare back in the day, and he thought it was going to, the paralysis to his face was going to cause him not to be able to act, and he ended up coming out and acting, amazingly. And, I really enjoy, his performances, and I think he always does a great job. His performance, of course, in, the Yorgos Lanthimos film that came out 2 years ago now, Poor Things, he was absolutely fantastic in. And he just really did that in this film. I absolutely loved his character in Mickey 17. He was freaking hilarious. He was on point. He was evil. And the fake teeth and his, how he talked and presented himself was so freaking hilarious, and he just cracked me the hell up through the whole entire film, and just was perfect as that character, and it worked well for that character, and he just gave one of his best performances, I think, to date, that I absolutely just enjoy and love. And I was just blown away by how hilarious he was, and how he just brought this character from a whole new level of anything else I've seen him play, and it just was on point and super funny, and just really well added to this film. He just was freaking awesome. But another great film to check out of Mark Ruffalo, if you haven't seen him in anything else, is a great film that he did a few years ago that starred Leonardo DiCaprio, called Shutter Island. Yeah! Shutter Island, yeah. I feel Shutter Island did a good job of giving us a great idea of how good of an actor, Mark Ruffalo was. I mean, other films have done that, but that one really showed it very well, because he plays a very interesting character that I think is just really extraordinary and really fun, and it's just a really great addition to Leonardo DiCaprio in the film, and they worked so well together in the film and just gave these really great performances. And I just really enjoyed how Mark Ruffalo, how he played it out in that film, and played a kind of a more serious portrayal, at the same time very mysterious, type of portrayal as well. And he just was really fantastic in it. And he had some great one-liners. He had some great dialogue with, Leonardo DiCaprio in the film. And I think this overall, he was just really awesome at what he did in the film. And he just really showed and shined in that film. Overall, he was a great addition to that film. Just did a great job. Was awesome, excellent, and just overall a really great person and addition to that film that really shined and gave us a really fantastic performance. If you haven't seen Mark Ruffalo anything recently, go check him out in Mickey 17. He was absolutely phenomenal. So that brings me to the final actress I like to talk about that was this film. And that is none other than Mark Ruffalo's wife in the film, Miss Toni Collette! Oh yeah, Toni Collette! Woo! Toni Collette, yeah! Toni Collette is a really decent actress. I have pretty much always enjoyed her in anything I've seen her in, and I think that she was a great addition to this film. And I just really enjoyed her character as the wife of Mark Ruffalo in the film, and she played such a great character that was kind of evil, but at the same time kind of naive, and at the same time kind of stuck in her own head type of deal. And Toni did such a great job of bringing that to life and just really ushering in this great character that was a great accompaniment to Mark Ruffalo's character. And I just really thought that she did a good job of, like I said, portraying this character, but at the same time, she just was so freaking awesome in every one of her scenes that really brought the film even more entertaining and brought the film even more kind of like comedic elements and just great storyline. And just how she's kind of like this like Chef R2 in the film, and she's like using the aliens to make her evil dishes and stuff like that was absolutely hilarious and stuff like that. And she just was overall just a great addition that was super funny. And her performance, I felt, was just really overall really well, directed, really well acted, and all that kind of stuff, because she really gave an overall performance of all different types of kind of like versatility, I really think. And, because she does like some comedy, she does some, deep thematic elements. She also does some kind of like dark humor and stuff like that. And she did it really well and very encompassing throughout the whole film as her character. And just, I thought it was just done really well. Now, if you haven't seen Toni Collette anything, definitely a great film to check her out in. It's a great film that came out in the early 2000s called Little Miss Sunshine. Yeah! Little Miss Sunshine. Yeah! Absolutely loved her in this film as the mom of Abigail Breslin's character. She was absolutely fantastic film. I thought that she worked so well with all the other actors and actresses in that film, from Abigail to Alan Arkin to Greg Kinnear, Steve Carell, Paul Dano. They all worked so well together, and she really brought a really fun, great, fresh, motherly aspect to the film. And I just really enjoyed her, like, whole thought process and acting that film. And I just thought that was a really decent performance that really shines in the film, along with all the others in the act. And I just really enjoyed her performance. I thought she was very endearing. You kind of fall in love with her character. And I think it just really shines her acting ability and kind of being a dark comedy, kind of dramedy, really. And she really brought it to life in that film. If you haven't seen Toni Collette anything, definitely check her out on Little Miss Sunshine. She did a really phenomenal job in that. But overall, she was a really great addition to this film, Mickey 17, and I absolutely just thought she was so fantastic and just really enjoyed her in it. And I think overall, it just was a really fun performance. If you haven't seen Toni Collette anything recently, go check her out in Mickey 17. She's absolutely fantastic in it. So what is Mickey 17 about? Basically, the premise of Mickey 17 is Mickey is this guy that basically is in trouble on Earth and decides to go into this program to get off of Earth so that he doesn't get killed by a mobster, basically. And what he signs up for, he doesn't realize, is as an expendable. He basically is doing all the work, just make sure things are safe for other humans to be on there. And basically, he gets recloned every time he dies. And basically, the rest of the movie is about him and, basically kind of trying to figure out things and decide what he wants to do to get out of this program. Basically kind of, and, to keep from dying after he's already died 17 times. And it's kind of like his love life, along with dealing with this kind of crazy people that are running this facility, and basically him trying to figure out things and to survive, basically. Really well done film. I think it's Bong's best film to date. He did an absolutely great job. It has everything in it that you want: action, comedy, drama, sci-fi elements, all that kind of good stuff. It's just a really well-rounded film. Great creature features, and just overall a really fantastic film. I think one of my favorite parts of the film is the dinner scene, and Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette just go off. It's absolutely freaking hilarious, and just the whole concept was super funny and just really enjoyable. If you have not seen it, highly recommend go check it out in theaters now. Giant 10 golden movie box up. Can't wait to add to the collection. Really fun film. Go check it out now in theaters. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check out any older new videos you might not see mine yet. As always, people, a huge shout out to my subscribers, new and old. Thank you so much for being a part of the channel. But if you want to show some more support for the channel, please check out my Patreon, where you get all kinds of extra control when you become a member. And you get to actually suggest movies I review. So, please check that out. Help a guy out. As always, catch you in the next one.